The cats in the Facebook VIP are already in attendance. They are already here. What's up, Josh Dewey? Good to see you, big homie. Thank you so much for joining us out on YouTube as well as on Twitter using Periscope. Thank you so much for your attendance in today's Midday Mix. We just went over my core 4 plays, guys that I really like. I've got them in a ton of my lineups. I'm rolling out 10 lineups tonight. It's 10-game slate. We're going to get up in it. If you wanted to see those core 4 plays and the strategy by which they were selected, you're not a VIP member. It is all good. It is simple as going to the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you will receive everything. If you've got the core 4 already, go ahead and post it up in the Facebook VIP. Let everybody get a chance to see it. What's up, bro? Big Daddy Dawes. What's happening, big homie? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, let's go ahead and jump straight into some game-by-game analysis. We're going to start in Oklahoma City, where the Orlando Magic are going to be playing host to the Thunder. This, of course, there's a few narratives involved in this game. Of course, you know, we've got Vic Oladipo going back to Orlando. I think that is a meaningful narrative. I will have some Vic Oladipo in my lineup today. I do like him a lot. As far as injury news goes, the only injury that we have on both sides of this game is going to be Jeff Green for Orlando. And I'm already seeing Exum for the cheap. Exum for the cheap. Yo, Dante Exum is not very good. And this is not a kid that at 3K is prone to get you 30 points. This is not a kid that is prone to get you 30 points. Now, am I telling you not to play him? No. Am I telling you that I'm not going to play him? I think I will throw him in the lineup. I think I will. I think he's going to give me just enough room to pay up for Russell Westbrook and still have a lineup, the rest of it that I feel comfortable with. But I'm not just saying, yo, go out there and roster him. I'm not saying run out there and get as much Exum as you can. I'm not saying that. He could have a decent game. He very could. But he might not even hit 6'6". The projection we have on him is 19. That's fair. That's fair. And at 3K on a 10-game slate, if you roster a guy 3K, you want a motherfucker that's going to get 10x. That's what you want. So, I'm not saying run out there and roster him, man, but I'm not saying don't. It's up to you. I just want you to know that it's not as easy as it seems when you're dealing with a guy like Dante Exum. He's been in this spot in a number of times this year where we like, yo, he's the next man up. He's the next big thing, and it just hasn't come to fruition. So, back to Oklahoma City and Orlando Magic. This is a 219-point total. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder giving up 6 points to the Orlando Magic. Orlando is not playing for much right now. They're not playing for much. And, you know, it's going to be tough to kind of figure out where we stand here. I know Elfrid Payton had a very good game against them out last time. So Elf is not on the shelf. We have taken Elf down from the shelf, and we think that he is somebody that we definitely can get in our lineups. Now, priced at 7.3 on DraftKings. He is a better deal on FanDuel. We play on all sites from Yahoo all the way over to DraftKings and FanDuel, so we can talk about any guy you want across all sites. I like him more on FanDuel as he's only priced at 7.2. He's 7.3 on DraftKings. Don't know if I can get up there tonight as much as I like some of the other guys. We talked about Vic Oladipo. Steven Adams is kind of interesting because at 4.7K, that is cheap as fuck. And we know that we're not scared of the Orlando Magic, especially in the post. We're not scared at all. But he just has been playing so erratic lately that I'm not sure he's somebody that can take too many shots on. Now, this is a 112.5 team total on the Oklahoma City side, which is kind of delicious. I like that because we know that when we get, you know, this much Westbrook in a game where he's probably going to go out and try for the triple-double, that means there's going to be guys that benefit, helpers around us going to be benefiting. And you look at Vic Oladipo, one of the first guys that jumped to mind with that narrative involved. You also take a look at Andre Roberson at 3.7K, very cheap there. I don't have an issue rostering him as well. Then you look at Enes Kanter coming off of the bench at 5.1, probably going to see a solid 25 minutes in this game. Definitely think, and he could see more in cleanup time. I'm stacking Oladipo, Westbrook. There it is, the Westbrook. Money Mike has spoken. And for those of you who don't know who this is, man, Money Mike Manningham is one of the driving forces. Every time I hear Mike talk, every time I see Mike, it reminds me of the R. Kelly song, that I Believe I Can Fly. Like, I did not believe that I could win a ton of money playing DFS until I saw like Mike going on this crazy streak. And every time I see him, I believe I can fly. It just comes in my head. Like, shout out to you, Money Mike. Thank you for being a part of the squad. So on the Orlando side, we already talked about it. Evan Fournier, not so much for me. Not really feeling him. Aaron Gordon, not a player that I'm particularly interested in. On a 10-game slate, man, I'm not going to invest too much salary in a team that really do not have much to play for. I like Elf. That's probably the best I can get. Maybe some Vooch if I'm feeling really frisky. But this guy's around this price point and cheaper that I think are in much better spots and are actually playing for something. Next game we're talking about is going to be the Atlanta Hawks going to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. This is a very interesting game because based on some of our perfect lineup research, man, there's a couple spots in here that are definitely able to take advantage of. Now, the first thing that jumps out is a 210.5 point total with the Atlanta Hawks giving up 1.5 points. So that means the Philadelphia 76ers are the home dog. You know how I feel about the home dogs, baby. I like the home dogs. No Ross? No, I don't like Ross. I don't like Ross. I'm good on Ross. I'm good on Ross. On the Atlanta side, Dwight Howard. Okay, all right. Did anybody see what Brook Lopez did to Philadelphia last night? Dude went the fuck off. He went off, bro. And I don't think that you're gonna see much different tonight. I still think that the center spot against those cats is fairly easy. And something came up because we talked a little bit about this game. Last night, me and Gunn, man, we chopped it up a little bit. And immediately I was like, nah, I'm not on Tim Hardaway Jr. But after looking at some of the FanDuel pricing as opposed to the DraftKings pricing, I think I'm going to play Tim Hardaway Jr. on FanDuel. Because I think that Kent Bazemore coming back is not really going to affect him as much over there where the price is just a little bit cheaper. So I can get into Tim Hardaway on FanDuel, not as much on DraftKings. I do like Kent Bazemore. Yes, newsflash. I do like Kent Bazemore if he does play. He is now tagged a game time decision. If we think he's going to get a full run of minutes at 4K, I think on DraftKings we can take a shot on him. Dennis Schroeder. Now we know that when it comes to the perfect lineup strategy we've been employing, that Philadelphia is one of the worst teams in the league against the point guard position. So I don't have any issue at all. What's up, Gunn? Good to see you in the homie. I have no issue with rostering Dennis Schroeder at 7.7, but I like him more over on FanDuel, where he's 7.2, I believe. I like him a little bit more on FanDuel. We've got to pay attention to that, site to site. That's why it's good to play on multiple sites because then you can see, you can see exactly the movement. You can see the movement exactly what you want when it comes to paying for a guy. Like I always say, if a guy is cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings, you got to take a look at him. You got to. On the Philadelphia side, you already know how I feel about this. I think we can stack Philadelphia. Of course, we've got Jahlil Okafor is a game time decision. Sergio Rodriguez is out. Gerald Henderson is a game time decision. Of course, Jared Bayless and Ben Simmons are both out, and Tiago Splitter got 7 minutes in the last game he played last night. This team is on a back-to-back. A lot of young guys. That doesn't really concern me at all. I would love for Gerald Henderson to be out, and that way I can take another shot on Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot. But since I think Gerald Henderson is going to be playing, I'm shifting my coverage more towards T.J. McConnell, Robert Covington, and Dario Saric. Those are the plays that I like the most from that Philadelphia game. The next game we're talking about, and you fucking with TLC tonight. I think you can, but I would just love it. I would love it much more if we didn't see Gerald Henderson. Now, Courtney Johnson brought up a really good point talking about Justin Anderson. Now, Justin Anderson, he popped up in all of the models yesterday. He popped it up. Got a question on YouTube. You don't like Stauskas? Nah. That's too much sauce, bro. I just can't. That's too much sauce. I can't get in the sauce. He just doesn't command the offense when he's out there. If he's standing around shooting threes and he's knocking them down, he's hot. Of course, Sauce is all good. But even if he has an extraordinary shooting game, the ceiling on Sauce is like 25. You're not going to get a ton of points. Matter of fact, I just said that and threw it out there. But let's just see. What's the ceiling on Sauce? The Sauce ceiling. 37 is the ceiling on Sauce. And that probably will never happen again. Never happen again. Next game we're talking about. Now, after looking over some of my roster builds, man, I kind of found out that I had little to no exposure to the Milwaukee and the Boston Celtics game, and I think that could be a mistake. Let me know how you're feeling about that Milwaukee and Boston game. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about that. What do you think about that? This is a lot I don't like about this game, man. There's a lot I don't like about this game. Number one, IT2, priced at 8K. I don't want to pay up for a point guard tonight unless I'm paying all the way up to Russell Westbrook. I really don't. I don't think that you need Al Horford at 6.9 when I've got DeAndre Jordan in a better matchup as a late night hammer. Jay Crowder, 6.2. That price is a little bit up on him. And it takes such a team effort for the Boston Celtics a lot of times that I just don't know where I'm going to get that huge, return on my investment. I don't see anywhere on the Boston roster where I'm going to get a huge return on my investment. Can they all be solid plays? Yeah, of course. They all can be solid plays. But I just don't see that tournament upside that I'm looking for when I look at the Boston Celtics. Now, Avery Bradley is somebody who interests me. Now, 5.7, the shooting guard position being kind of down the way it is. But for me, I'm just paying up 300 more and getting Oladipo. That's just how I'm rocking. On the Milwaukee side, of course, Giannis is always in play. You can definitely take a look at him. We love to attack the Boston Celtics rebounding the basketball. I think we can do that with Greg Monroe, priced at 5.2. That is a very solid price on him. Malcolm Brogdon, man, 5.1. What do you think about Malcolm Brogdon? I'm seeing a lot of Malcolm Brogdon love. Seen a lot of Malcolm Brogdon love. He's been playing pretty well lately. Let's go and check his last few games just to see what he's been doing, man. He's got over the last 3 games for Malcolm Brogdon, 36, 28, 27, 21, 24. Pretty steady and consistent. A few of those were against bottom perimeter defenses, but I think that's the same thing you get with Isaiah Thomas starting. So I don't have an issue with Malcolm Brogdon if you do like him. I think Giannis, of course, is always in play. You know what? This is the perfect spot to play Giannis because he shat the bed last night, had a horrible game, is on a back-to-back, has not been fairly great on the road. So people just are not going to want to roster Giannis tonight. I think out of all the studs, everybody above 9K, I would venture to say that we're going to see the lowest amount of ownership on Giannis. And I don't want you to get too lost in ownership because the 10-game slate, ownership is going to be spread out all over the place. But it's good to have a stud like this, a guy that has 7.7x value upside in such a great spot where nobody's going to want to roster him. So I think you can take a look at Giannis Antetokounmpo on DraftKings, not on FanDuel. I think on FanDuel he's still above 10K. Next game we talk about is the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks. What are we going to get from the New York Knicks tonight? We still have not seen anything in the way of letting us know exactly who's going to be in or out. Westbrook and IT build. I'm not on IT2. Yo, the homie Seth Rudnick in the Sweatshop, he posted a graphic that showed IT2's last 10 games, and bro, this dude does not make value. He just doesn't. No matter what the price point he's at, he's just not making value. And you put that with the fact that I already don't want to pay up 8K for a point guard, that just spells a complete tournament fade, all-out fade for me for IT2. That's my top fade of the day. Now, we've got, on the New York Knicks side, Carmelo Anthony is priced at 6.7. That's a very fair price. We already learned this, and if y'all want to find out how we are learning these things, hit us up in the Sweatshop, man. We already learned that the Miami Heat, if they have one weakness on the board, it is going to be at the small forward position. And if my New York Knicks have one strength, which is a weakness, actually, because the dude shoots the ball too fucking much, we need to get rid of him. But if they have one strength, it is the fact that they can score on the wing using Carmelo Anthony. I like the spot that he's in at 6.7. It is a contrarian play. Nobody's going to want to play him. I definitely think we see a solid game from Carmelo Anthony. Hassan Whiteside definitely interests me. And I'm going to talk a little about this because this is something else that was uncovered in the research that Rudy was doing. Because we know we can attack the New York Knicks. They are, as far as this slate goes, out of all teams on the slate, the New York Knicks are one of the worst teams against the center position. And all that tells you automatically, oh, definitely, yeah, Whiteside. But Whiteside is at 8.4. What if you were to take the discount for a guy like James Johnson at 6.6 that's probably going to be less owned than Whiteside? That is definitely a look that we can look at. That's something that we can look at. Dragic, of course, is a player that I do like. We know the Knicks suck against the point guard position, but you've got to take a look at Tyler Johnson as well. Now, you can do a complete saving if you roster Johnson and Johnson, as opposed to going up to Hassan Whiteside and Dragic. But the pair of them owe me money from early in the week. I am going to have some lineups with those guys there involved. Kristaps Porzingis kind of interests me at 7.6. Not completely sold out. I like Carmelo Anthony more. Hopefully we get some news closer to lock about what's going to be going on, because the only injury news we have for the Miami side is going to be Dion Waiters, of course, is out. Josh Roberts and Justice Winslow. On the Knicks side, Lance Thomas is a game-time decision. So, Nick Tech got to be one of the gurus. Yo, that's my dude. That's my dude. I love them cats, man. And another play. Because we know that against the small forward position, as a part of our research that we've done, the Knicks are the 4th worst team on the slate. The Heat are a bad team on the slate against the small forward position, and so are the Knicks. So you look at a guy like Rodney McGruder, very cheap. You look at Josh Richardson, very cheap. Those are cats that you can definitely get into your lineups. Definitely. Now, next game we're going to talk about is the Charlotte Hornets going to Toronto to take on the Raptors. And, initially, I love DeRozan. Do we have any DeRozan love? Automatically, I just love DeRozan because the spot that they're in, trying to overtake cats, in that first place spot in the East. They are in striking distance, actually. I don't have an issue with him. But, if I'm going to go anywhere in this game, man, I want to attack Charlotte Hornets rebounding the basketball. I think power forward is the best spot to do that. I love Ibaka in this spot. We look at him, priced at 6K, very, very fair price for him. 7-ranked DVP is what a lot of people are going to see. I don't have an issue with rostering him at all. I think Ibaka definitely can eat against the Charlotte Hornets front court. Also, Corey Joseph is going to gain consideration from me as well. At 5K at home, the dude's been balling pretty much lately. I don't have an issue there with him. DeMarre Carroll is a game-time decision. If he is out, we can definitely look to a cat like Norman Powell. I like him jumping off of the bench in his increased role. And PJ Tucker probably will get the start if we don't see Norman Carroll. He deserves consideration. On the Charlotte Hornets side, my favorite play, and this is funny, because this dude last night was a fucking snowflake, and I was talking shit about him, but he's one of my favorite plays on the slate. Let me tell you something. I love Nick Batum. I'm on Nick Batum. 6.9K, you get him under 7K. Fairly decent. We got a 56-point ceiling. The dude can go off at any time. Nobody is going to want to play Nicholas Batum. Kemba Walker, I think at 7.8K, under 8K is a very solid price on him. You know how I feel about Kemba. Kemba's my dog. Me and Kemba go back, and I think he's in a very solid spot at 7.8K. Have no issue with him. Is there any news on Bazemore? You read different things. From what I'm seeing, is he's a game time decision. That's what I'm seeing. Future research shows DDR gets his upside from free throws. That's right. Getting to the basket, bro. Getting to the basket is where DeMar DeRozan really makes that. He makes up for not being a great rebounder or a great passer with getting to the free throw line. I think last time out he was like 16 times at the free throw line. Hit 15 of them. So James Johnson or Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph all day long. That's not an issue at all. What do you feel about Delon Wright, man? The price is up to 3.6. I'm past that. I love him at 3K. I can't do it. Val, if he gets some minutes, should kill it. Now, that's another play that a lot of people are not talking about, man. Jonas Valanciunas at 4.9K. He's been a guy that I personally have been leaning on a lot yesterday. Jeremy Ladd says that Bays says he's playing yesterday. That doesn't mean he's going to play today, but yesterday he said that. So, checking over Joe Val, man, the last 3 games, 30, 20, 14, 13, 30. Ooh, not a lot of great games over the last few, but, I mean, with the playoff atmosphere involved, man, and against this Charlotte Hornets team, I don't have an issue with them. I don't have an issue with them at all. On the Charlotte Hornets side, take a look at Frank Kaminsky. Priced down to 5.1. There's a good chance that we might not see Marco Bellinelli. He is a game-time decision. So that puts Frank Kaminsky and Jeremy Lamb in play for me. Now, I love the price on Jeremy Lamb. If you're trying to fit in Westbrook, and I think Jeremy Lamb can be a place that you can go. I think I like Lamb. I'm on Jeremy Lamb, especially if Bellinelli doesn't play. If Bellinelli is not out, it doesn't play, then I definitely can rock with Jeremy Lamb. Now, Marvin Williams, still priced above 6K. I'm not particularly on him tonight. I'm fading Marvin Williams. I'm not going to be rostering that. I'm good on that. But that's a guy. I do like Jeremy Lamb. I like Lamb, and I like Kaminsky off of the Charlotte Hornet bench. This is a low point total, man. It's 202 with the Charlotte Hornets, an implied team total of 98. So that tells me we can look to the studs in this game, and they should be able to, have that game so convinced where they really show us a really good scores there. You like Hood if Hayward plays? Yes, I like Rodney Hood. I am on Rodney Hood. Everybody hates Rodney Hood but me. Like, I'm the Rodney Hood man. Like, I love Rodney Hood. I was on him last night when he went ham. Next game we're talking about is the Indiana Pacers going to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. And just the fact that this game is at the Grindhouse is going to make a lot of people not want to roster guys. Vic Hill says Kimba is bringing the hose tonight. I agree. It's going to make people not want to roster Indiana guys. And I think that could be a mistake. Because let's look at this. Let's look at some of the research that we've done so far. Let's talk about the point totals. 196 points is a total. We've got an implied team total of 95.8. Now, that tells us that the scoring, the production, the usage is what we want to capture in this game. And we can use two guys in particular. I think we can use two guys to capture this. And that's going to be Paul George and Jeff Teague. Now, the DVP is going to tell you, oh, man, they're not in great spots. But, in fact, they are. They are. The Memphis Grizzlies, as of late, have been giving it up to point guards. We haven't seen, a huge defensive stand for Mike Conley in a lot of spots. We really haven't. So I have no issue there. You couple that with the fact that there's going to be no Marc Gasol, that makes me really take a look at Paul George. I mean, he's going to be matched up against, he better not be matched up against Vince Carter. They better put Tony Allen on him. They better put Tony Allen on him. If they put the old man on him, Paul George going to go apeshit. So I like Teague and I like Paul George. Those are two studs. I think that we can definitely get into our lineups, right? Not too much that I like as far as some of the other Indiana guys. I mean, of course, Monte Ellis deserves consideration at 4.5, but I think that, on a slate like tonight, 10-game slate, we don't have to reach when it comes to Monte Ellis, man. The dude went ham and shot like 77% in the last game. He's not going to do that again. He's not gonna, and he's the kind of guy that when he has a great game, he gets cocky and goes ham and then just fucking chucks up shots the next game. So Paul George, one of my favorite players on the slate, got him. He's gonna be in quite a few of my lineups. I'm not gonna miss like I did last night on him. On the Memphis side, now Gasol being out, I really think that helps Conley, and Conley does correlate very well with Zach Randolph. JaMychal Green is a game time decision. I do not think that we have to go all the way down to Brandon Wright. He's at 3.1. If you're trying to get Westbrook, you're trying to get really cute, yeah, you can do that. But the projection on him is about 17 DraftKings points, and that's not going to help you win a GDP. It's really not. So you can take a look at him if you like. I probably won't have him anywhere. We know that there are certain spots you can target with the Memphis against the Indiana Pacers, centers being one of them. That makes Zebo one of my favorite players on the slate. I am 80% Zebo. I love that cat tonight. I am all over him. So those are going to be my favorite plays there. Mike Conley, also Zach Randolph. And don't sleep on this because based, again, on some of the research that we've done, against shooting guards, Indiana is in the bottom 5 on the slate. So you can get a guy like Tony Allen at fairly low ownership in a solid spot matched up against maybe some Monte Ellis or something like that, and he can have a really solid game. So take a look at Tony Allen. The price is 4.6. I don't have an issue with that as well. They've given up a ton of perfect lineup spots to the shooting guard position. Next game we're talking about is going to be the Dallas Mavericks going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. What are we going to do? What are we going to do with Anthony Davis, man? We need some news to drop. We need to know what's going on with the homie DeMarcus Cousins. We've got a couple of game time decisions here. Solomon Hill, now a game time decision. DeMarcus Cousins, a game time decision. Omar Ashik is out. Are they going to start Alexis Ajinça to match up with some of those Dallas bigs? Are they going to, because if Solomon Hill is out and DeMarcus Cousins is out, I mean, we've got a starting 5 of Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, Dante Cunningham, probably Ajinça, and maybe, Jordy Crawford, Etuan Moore. So it's tough sledding, man, picking for this New Orleans side. So AD, if Boogie does play, there's no way I play AD. There's no way. But if we know that Boogie is out before lineups lock, I'm going to fuck with Anthony Davis in some spots, even at 10.8K. I don't have a problem there. On the Dallas Mavericks side, these guys are still cheap. First guy that kind of jumped over the page for me, Seth Curry is back in the lineup. He said he's going to be playing. It says here he's a game time decision, but it says he is going to be playing, so we can look at that. Wes Matthews at 5.2 looks pretty appealing. I think he's in a very solid spot, matched up against Drew Holiday. I don't have an issue there. Tim Frazier has been a fairly solid defender in his time back in the starting rotation. They have been limiting point guards, so I'm not going to be fucking too tough with Steph Curry. No Dirk Nowitzki for me. Nerlens Noel is somebody that I think at 5.6K. I think last time against this team, he did have a very solid game. Let's go ahead and check out his last total against the New Orleans Pelicans. 24 DraftKings points. He was priced down to 5.6. He only had 24. That wasn't as good as I thought it was. But he's a player that I do like. I think we can rock with him. Do you like Frazier in this spot? Yeah. Well, this is a 22nd ranked DVP. Tim Frazier, 37 DraftKings points. DraftKings price on him. I don't think that there's an issue there. 18, 27, 7, 17, and 8 over the last 5 games. Not too much to get excited about. But if you like him and you like the spot, he's matched up against Steph Curry probably. I don't see an issue with that. I really don't. I'm not on Dirk tonight. Got a question, do I like Dirk? I am not on Dirk. I'm not on Dirk tonight. He's not a play that I particularly like. I don't like Dirk tonight. Because, all right, let's talk about the matchup in this game. Let's talk about the matchups in this game. So let's just say we have, the lineup set like it is right now. Who is going to be playing Anthony Davis? Do we see Harrison Barnes try to cover him? Because I'm thinking that we're probably going to see Alexis Agenta get the start in place of Boogie. Who's going to guard Boogie? The lineups in this is going to be crazy. And it's going to be very hard to determine, what we find. So, Dirk Nowitzki's a no for me. I do like Nerlens Noel. Will give consideration to Harrison Barnes being at 6K. George Hill and Raul Neto are both out tonight. That is true. No George Hill, no Neto. There's going to be a ton of Dante Exum tonight, and a lot of people are going to fall for that. I'm probably not. Next game we're talking about is the Golden State Warriors going to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. This is a 207 point total. You know what? Rarely do you see the Golden State Warriors with a total this close to 100 points. 101.3 is the implied team total for the Golden State Warriors. And what that says to me is, the guys that I think are going to see the ball the most are going to be the guys that I kind of like. And that jumps off immediately as Steph Curry and Draymond Green. I love the spot that they're in. We know that San Antonio can be had at that power forward position. I don't have a problem there. It's kind of keeping me from looking too far to the bench. It kind of makes me don't want to look too far into this game, period. Outside of Draymond and Steph on the Golden State side, there's not too much else that I really feel like I need to roster. It really isn't. We know Draymond's going to be playing. There was some kind of threat of him maybe sitting out, but that's water under the bridge. He's going to be playing. And I like Steph and Draymond on the Golden State side. As far as San Antonio goes, I think we can look a little bit deeper into the San Antonio lineup. I really do think we do. Kawhi Leonard at 9.9. Are you paying up for Kawhi? That's the question. Who's paying up for Kawhi? Because I can tell you who ain't. No, I'm not. 9.9K, I'm not paying up for Kawhi. Do I think that he can have, a great game? Yeah. But I think it's going to take team basketball in order for this point total to come to fruition. I think it's going to take the entirety of the San Antonio, rotation to really put the Golden State Warriors to bed in this game. And I think Kawhi, man, I can't get with it. I like LaMarcus Aldridge more because we can attack Golden State at the power forward spot, and at 7.1K, I think LaMarcus Aldridge is in a very solid spot. I'm going to go there. Danny Green at 3.6 is a play that I think you can consider if you need that salary saving. I don't have a problem there. Also, maybe you might want to take a look at some Tony Parker at 4K, possibly, maybe. Paul Gasol at 5.1, I think he's in a very solid spot. Manu is a player that I like at 3.6. I like him. And then there's the fear of getting popped. We've got to be careful with that, too. So I can go, almost 5 deep on the San Antonio side. Paul Harler says he likes Deadman. Low-key, I think McCaw gets bonus minutes on the back-to-back for the 3K sneaky play. I can get with that. I can agree with that. Jason Gunnison says Andre Iguodala price drop is not 4.5. If you need a glue guy for Golden State at a cheap salary, I think you can look at him, too. You can look at him. Draymond will be in foul trouble. It's hard to predict that. Don't be scared of Whiteside injury. He's been injured the last 3 games and he's still balling. I don't have a problem with Whiteside either. Deadman gets run off of the court. Yes, immediately. Next game we're talking about is the Washington Wizards going to LA to Staples to take on the Clippers. This is a 220.5 point total, with the LA Clippers giving up 6 points. They are the home favorite in Staples. It's an implied team total of 113.3. This tells me, a point total tells me that we can look. Sarek, yes, I do like Sarek. What about Reed? No, that's a reach. I'm not fucking with. That's a tournament punt reach. I'm not doing that. This tells me that we don't have to just center our focus on the big three in LA and look at the Clippers. We can look to some guys that's around them. We can look at some of the helpers. Chris Paul stands out at 8.1. I really don't want to pay up to 8K. If I pay for anybody tonight above 8K, it will be Chris Paul. If I pay for anybody, just because I like Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan so much. And if you look at, from our perfect lineup strategy, man, you're gonna see that the Washington Wizards, man, they can be 8 up at not only the power forward position, but at the center position. Now, am I telling you to go out and roster Blake and DeAndre? No. Could you do it and it work? Yes. So I do like Blake in some spots. I love DeAndre. I think I'm going to take the discount and rock with DeAndre Jordan at 6.8 and pair him in some spots with Chris Paul. I will be doing the same thing, but I think I'm like 75% DeAndre Jordan. For me, it's a two center slate for me. And I love a lot of the center options that we do have. I love the center options. Let's take a look over here at the shooting guard position as well. Based on some of the perfect lineup research that we've done, the LA Clippers are the 3rd worst team on the slate when it comes to covering that shooting guard spot. And what do we have? What is a primary strength of the Washington Wizards? Is going to be Bradley Beal. Dude's been getting a ton of minutes. Has been not so great over the last couple of games. I think this is a big get-right game for him over the last 3, 22, 41, and 27. But before that, we had a 52-point game against the Atlanta Hawks, which is very similar in how much they give up to the shooting guard spot. Brad Beal, bro. Brad Beal. Don't be afraid to roster Brad Beal. Especially since you saw Wall do all the work last night. Do not be afraid to roster Brad Beal. I love him in the spot that he's in. The 6-point spread doesn't bother me at all when it comes to Brad Beal. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate, actually. Also, John Wall, not a play that I really like at 10.2. The dude has exceptional talent, can go anywhere, do anything. Of course he can. But John Wall, away from the crib, on the back-to-back, not a big proponent on rostering him in this spot. Plus, I'm not going to be paying up. The only point guard I'm paying up that much for is Westbrook. That's it. I'm not maybe Paul and Westbrook. That's it. I'm not paying up in any more spots at that point guard spot. I'm not. Otto Porter is also a play that you can take a look at as well. I think the wing gets it. I think the Wizards wings get it tonight, and that's gonna spell a good game for John Wall in the way of assists. But I don't think we're gonna see a big John Wall scoring game. We're not gonna have to, because I think Brad Beal, Otto Porter, as well as Markieff Morris can all have solid games. Now, who do I like the least out of those 3? I like Markieff Morris the least, but I love Porter and I love Beal. Beal's going to be in a ton of my lineups. I like him. He was core 4 considerable, easily. Kelly Oubre Jr. Just got a question about him. Tournament punt, if you want to take a shot on him, 3.3K. Had a fairly decent game out last time. He's projected at about 13 DraftKings points. Not sure I want to fuck with that. Bojan at 16.8. Now check this out. In our perfect lineup research, the way Rudy is teaching us and putting this shit down to us, right? Now, automatically, you see that the Clippers give it up to the shooting guard, right? Let's just say the Clippers give it to the shooting guard. So everybody goes all in on Beal. And then the way the game plays out, Bojan comes off the bench, plays those shooting guard minutes, and has a career night. That means that his research was still correct. It just means that we picked the wrong guy. So whenever you're in spots in your research, as it applies to the perfect lineup, the way we're doing it, if you got a guy that is stud potential and a great matchup, don't just look at him. Look at who's behind him too, because you may want to take a shot at him in a couple of other spots too. And that's what kind of makes me like a little bit of Bojan Bogdanovic. As long as we know that he's not going to be on that minutes limit that he was on last night, I think we could take a shot on him. I really do. I don't have an issue with that there. Last game on the slate, in the late night hammer game, one of 2 late night hammer games, is going to be Smith off the bench. I'm convinced. I'm trying to pick Westbrook. I'm trying to Westbrook, and you just sold me. Well, go get him. Go get him. The Wiz trying to pass the Cavs in the standings for first and second. They're ready to go tonight. I do agree with that. Bojan is great when fitting in Westbrook, of course. Just got here. The Core 4, please. It will be available in the comments as soon as the stream is over. Utah at Sacramento. This is a game a lot of us, we're going to be one-sided a lot in this game. A lot of cats are just going to want to roll to the Utah side, and I can dig it. And just talking about, some of the player pricing as it applies to FanDuel and DraftKings, I'm not playing Rudy Gobert on FanDuel at all. I'm just not. That's too much. 9.9 is too much. I'm not paying. You get one shot at center on FanDuel. And I'm not going to take that one shot and pay up, to that price. I'm not. I'm not playing Rudy on FanDuel. Period. I will have some on DraftKings. But there's some other centers that I really like. A lot more than I like Rudy Gobert for the price. I'm not going to play him. 9.1 on FanDuel. Yes, that's too much. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I'm kind of like mad about 8.6 on DraftKings, so there's no way I'm paying 9.1 on FanDuel. I'm not doing it. But I think he's going to be a good play. I could go out and be one of the highest scoring centers on the night. But this is just looking really bad because we got a game time decision just came out on Gordon Hayward. We know Alex Burks is a game time decision. George Hill is out. Derek Favors is out. Neto is out. So there's a lot of people out. And Alec Gomez says Dante Exum is due. Dude, this dude has been due forever. And I'm not telling you not to roster him. I'm just saying, just know that if you do take a shot on this guy, the dude has no ceiling. Like, the ceiling is the floor for this dude. And it's just not a play that I'm particularly interested in getting in more than one of 10 lineups. And Exum, of course, is at 3K. I don't even think he gets to start. I think Shelvin Mack is going to get the start. And I would look to Shelvin Mack at 3.7. I'd rather roster Shelvin Mack, definitely. Yeah, I would go Shelvin Mack right now over Dante Exum if Shelvin Mack is starting. Most definitely. Collison is a play that I do like. I think George Hill being out doesn't help Shelvin Mack, doesn't help Dante Exum as much as it helps Darren Collison. It really helps Darren Collison. And at 4.6K, I can definitely get with that. Not a problem with that at all. Looking at some of the perfect lineup research, man, you're going to see that against power forwards, the Utah Jazz are the second worst team on the slate against power forwards. And that automatically... Now we're in another conundrum. Shelvin Mack is out. He's been ruled out. Yeah, I'm not sure if Shelvin Mack has been ruled out officially. I've got an update here. And I'm not sure that Shelvin Mack has been ruled out officially. It has no injury news by him right here. It has him in the starting lineup as a projected starter. So we need to check on that. And see, and that's the problem. Jeremy Ladd brings up a big question. Is Collison even going to play? Is Burks is expected to play? He was a game time decision. He's expected to play. I don't see Mack anywhere on the injury report. Not officially. Burks is playing. We've got that. Burks playing for sure. Okay, cool. All right, so looking at the Sacramento side, and we know that out of all these teams on the slate, man, power forward, the Utah Jazz give it up to power forward. They are second of all of the bad teams against power forwards. So what does that tell us, man? And we've got two guys that we can kind of target on the Sacramento side. And the beautiful thing about not being so sure who we can roster when it comes to Sacramento, there's one guy we know we can roster for Sacramento that's going to play. We know this guy's not going to rest. Now, I didn't say I didn't have any confidence in Gobert. I just said he's priced up too much, and I think I can get very similar production at a cheaper price. That's it. All right, now, Sacramento. We know that we're going to see Buddy Hield. We know we're going to see a ton of Buddy Hield, and he's going to shoot the fucking ball. We know he's going to be shooting his ass off. So I have no issue if you want to take a shot on Buddy Hield. And we also know that Willie Cauley-Stein is going to be seeing a ton of minutes. Now, he plays a lot of those center minutes when Koufos is off the floor. So that's kind of misleading. You look at him, and he's not going to be like in that power forward role, which kind of brings up Skal Labissière. At 4.2, dude is he's in a spot where he could score. He could score and score well. Now, this game could blow out, which would mean even more to a guy like him. Papagiannis is a guy you can look at for the cheap. But let's look at Skal, man. Over the last 3 games, 4.5, 8.5, and 37. So that means nobody is going to want to play him. I think he's somebody we can take a shot at as a cheap late night hammer, man. I really do. Because we know that Utah Jazz give it up to power forwards. Mo, don't count on any of the Kings players because they also are. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that for lack of a better term, man, this team is like wishy-washy as fuck. Like, you'll find out that half of them are going to be sitting. But there's only two that you know are going to be playing. Buddy Hield's going to play. You know Willie Cauley-Stein's going to be playing. So, this wraps up the 10-game slate. I want y'all to go out, man, and have a wonderful night tonight, man. It is Wednesday, hump day. We are in the middle of the week. Had a really solid couple of days so far. You can keep the questions coming. I'm going to be answering a few of those. Once again, when picking Westbrook, yeah, I like Westbrook. And, stay tuned, man, because, a lot of stuff is going to be happening towards lock. The bigger the slate, the more there's a chance that we're going to see, injuries, late scratches, things like that. So you've got to stay abreast and check up on it, okay? No Curry. Yes, I do like Curry. At 8.8, I like Curry on DraftKings. I don't like Curry on FanDuel. MKG popped up in a couple models for me, baby. I got him over on Yahoo. I kind of like him. What's your core four as of now? Great question. If you want to find out the answer, go hit up the website at www.dfssweatshop.com. Big homie. I do like Curry. What do I think of just ask a question about MKG. I do like MKG. I've got him in a couple of spots on Yahoo. I think he's like $14 over on Yahoo. I like that. Also, who else we got? All right. Well, this wrapped up the Q&A session, man, for today's Midday Mixer. Thank you to everyone who was inside the Midday Mix, coming in from YouTube, coming up from Twitter using Periscope, to the fam, the immediate family here in the Facebook VIP, man. Thank you all so much for being involved, man. Jamal Crawford, yes, I like Jamal Crawford. Oh, and I gotta tell you, I've got one more point too. If we don't see the Clipper game, if we don't see Redick tonight, you can just pretty much lock Austin Rivers in. If you don't see Redick, I do like Rivers. And like I said, I talked about this on Gundacker's show last night. If I'm in a situation where, I need 100 more, and I've got Rivers in already, and I need 100 more to get somebody else that I want, I will pay down that 100 to Jamal Crawford in order to get that guy, and vice versa. If I'm in a situation where I just got Crawford and I've got 100 laying around, I'm gonna go up to Austin Rivers, because the coach's son can see minutes and ball against the Washington Wizards. So, again, thank y'all so much, man. Y'all have a wonderful and profitable Wednesday night, man. Stay tuned. We're always going to be here. Baseball is coming up soon. If you are looking for a baseball home, a DFS home, come and join us in the Sweatshop. I will welcome you. Pull back the velvet rope. Allow you face first into the Facebook VIP, man. That's where it all goes down, man. Solid cats in here. We are ready. Is 300 salary too much to leave? No. If you like your squad, 300 is not too much to leave. Now I'm gonna tell you, because y'all gonna go somewhere after this. Y'all gonna go somewhere and y'all gonna watch some other shit. Y'all gonna go watch some other shit. What I want you to do, bro, is stick to your core plays. Do not let whatever you see. Don't let what you came and saw here. Don't let what you go see in a few moments take you off of your gut plays, because that's where you win. You win from your gut in DFS, man. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful and profitable Wednesday. Take it easy. Number one thing, keep it 300. Love y'all.